Hello everyone! Welcome to our show, International Journey. Here we share the amazing journeys of international students graduating this semester. Tonight we have a special as two guests join us live from the studio. So without further ado, let's welcome our first guest, Noah. Hi Noah.
Hi, my name's Noah, but most of the professor recognize me as Po-Yu. And I'm a senior student from major in political science, and I'm from Taiwan. For those people who doesn't know where Taiwan is a small island right next to China, and we're really famous for semiconductor and mobile tea. Yeah, and
Yep.
fun fact, 61% of the semiconductor is export from Taiwan.
Wow, I did not know that at all. I know I love boba tea and everything, but I didn't know about the semiconductor. Very interesting. Well, thank you for sharing. So I know you study here at SUNY Oswego like I do. Why'd you choose to study at Oswego though?
Right. So before I came here, I studied in Japan, and then during the second year, sophomore year, and COVID happened, and then the situation in all Asian countries is really severe. They locked down the whole street, and then they don't allow people to go out. So it was a really hard time, even taking online class. Like, I don't really feel like going to the class. Just open the laptop, and then I don't really feel that connection. So I saw on the school website, SUNY Oswego have exchange program, so I just applied it.
Very nice. Okay. And then why did you choose to stay here at Oswego? Because you've been here now for a couple of years.
Right. So I first came here as an exchange student for only one semester, but after one semester, I started to learn more things, to understand the different culture and
Right.
the classroom, how professor interact with the student, and I started liking it. So at the second year, I decided to just transfer here and then finish my degree in SUNY Oswego.
Nice. And what are you doing at SUNY Oswego that you love right now?
Right now, well, I attend several classes that I'm really interested in. Like, for example, last semester there's a class Vote Oswego, and then the objective is to raise the voting rate on campus. So in order to do that, we have to came up with several campaign and tabling on campus to raise the political awareness.
Right, right.
Yeah, for students.
Awesome. That sounds like a really cool time. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy that class?
I did. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. All right. So can you tell us a little bit more about other clubs that you might have joined here at SUNY Oswego? Is there any other things you wanted to touch on there?
Well, I didn't really join any club, but back in Japan, I used to join my friends' kind of club, but it's a little bit more for profit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they were making music and they were producing their own clothing brand. Yeah, so but it was back in Japan.
Yeah, okay. Did you
Right.
want to talk about that a little bit? Anything to name drop?
Right, yeah, for sure. So back in ICLA, my name Fuku. Now he is making music. Like, he's a
yeah.
legit music producer. Like, he dropped music for those famous music artists. Yeah, and then another friend, Thomas, he's doing clothing design right now, and he recently opened a really big shop in Tokyo. Yeah, shout out to Thomas. And then another of my friend, he went back to Italy to pursue his his acting career.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Have you ever thought of doing something like that?
Well, yeah, but then the thing that I wanted to do is kind of limited by my age, so I
Gotcha.
wanted
Yeah.
to be an entrepreneur and
Right.
do all that.
And what do you want to do with your political science major?
So, well, first, the reason I choose political science, because if you're political science, you don't have to do math, because I'm really terrible
okay.
at math.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't choose economic or anything. I choose politics. At first, I wasn't really interested in politics, but then second year, third year, start to recognize more, like, because I studied in Japan and I was born in Taiwan, so I started to recognize like the political kind of dilemma. And then I came to US and I started to learn the politics in the US. So yeah, there's like a lot of different things. And,
and it brings you full circle back to your Vote Oswego campaign that you were doing. That's really cool. So let's actually take a look at what Noah has been up to while here at SUNY Oswego. What a nice video. Noah, I enjoyed that so much, and I know our viewers at home did too. Coming up, we will be speaking more about Noah's experiences in other countries. Stay tuned.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker. Welcome back to International Journey. Right next to me is Noah, an international student from Taiwan. Noah, you mentioned that you did 2 years of college in Japan. Can you tell us more about that experience?
Right, so I went to Japan right after I graduated from high school. So it was a big change for me. So I went to public school, so I don't have like a really good English education environment. So I moved to Japan, and then it's an international college. Everyone is speaking in English. And then outside the country, outside the campus, everyone's speaking Japanese. So it was like a really, like a language barrier for me. Yeah, so when I first get into the college, I start to learn more about, for example, politics and then all kinds of different issues. Yeah, it's really interesting. And the most interesting thing is you're learning it from a Japanese perspective. And then when you come to US, you're learning things from like American ways. Yeah, that's really something.
That is interesting. I know you mentioned a little bit about that language barrier and how it's different outside of the college. So what is it, how is it different in Taiwan versus Japan?
Right, so back in Taiwan, the language is Mandarin. So everybody's using Mandarin, and then I go to public school, so no one is using English.
Right, right.
And then when I first moved to Japan, like everyone started to speaking English, so I don't really have that much of confidence, and then so I don't really talk to people because my English is not good, and I also have to learn Japanese, and it's really confusing. But after 1 or 2 semesters, you hang out with friends and talking to professor, you like start getting used to it.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely. And how has it been with being here with communicating with other students? Have you talked to any maybe Japanese students or other Taiwanese students at all?
Right. So when I first got here, I got to know I am the only one Taiwanese student here.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that.
then-
That's
yeah.
really cool.
And then the last semester, I was waiting for other Taiwanese students, but they never came.
No kidding.
But then this semester, there are 3 more, so I feel really,
Nice.
connected to them, because it's been 3 semesters I've been speaking my own language. I really want to like speak in Mandarin.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it was really nice to meet them.
that's really cool. And you met them, you're saying you met them this semester?
Yeah.
Aw, right before you're gonna graduate too.
Yes.
Aw. Do you guys do any things together that are like kind of from your culture at all, or?
Well, yeah. So they happens to bring my favorite ramen.
Oh.
From back home. It was like, oh,
It's
yeah.
good.
The food is like a big problem here because I'm from in Taiwan, and then when I go to Japan, it's every meal is in like Japanese food. It's kind of for me, it's like I need some, food from my hometown, and then when
Right.
I come to America, it's so different. It's just fries, yeah.
I get that. What Taiwanese foods are your favorite?
There's a lot. There's a bunch. Of course, boba tea is definitely, and then we have. There's so much. Let me think.
Yeah.
Like pork, and we the fried chicken. Like the way the fried chicken is way different. Like the style in Taiwan, in Japan, in America. Yeah, they have
It's a
like
lot
all
different.
kind of different.
How is it
styles.
different? I have no idea. I'm very interested.
Right. So, well, I would say it's the taste wise. And then there's like a lot of, before you actually fry the chicken, there's a lot of process you have to work.
Ooh, yeah.
It's more like the prepare work is different.
Ooh, okay. That sounds good. I had an addiction to boba tea. Like in high school, I would not stop drinking it. It was my favorite drink ever. Like, did you ever have that addiction to it at one point, like a lot of other people do too?
Yes, for sure. Because it's so sweet. And then
It
in
is.
Taiwan, we have like a whole street. Like next to my middle school, there's a whole street of boba tea. Like they have different, it's just named differently. And then they just different brand, but same things. So you just, yeah.
Got it. So you kind of did like taste tests at every one, and you were like, this one's my favorite.
Yeah, and then when I went to Japan, they kind of combined boba tea with their culture. So they made their own boba tea.
good.
Yeah, and it's kind of famous. And then when I come here, when I go to the city, I also saw like some boba shop, and then they were like directly from Taiwan.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I've only been to Kung Fu Tea and Gongcha. Is that the
Oh.
2 places you might have been thinking about?
Yeah, that is directly from Taiwan though.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. I did not know that. That's really
Yes.
cool. They're all over the place now. I think it really just, in my hometown, there was not one for years, but then I saw it in the mall once, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's my favorite shop. So that's cool.
When is the first time you try boba tea?
Boba?
Yeah.
First time was like my freshman year of high school.
Freshman
And
in high school?
my friends actually told me about it, and I was like, oh, this tastes really good. Like, I kind of want to try it again. And I tried the Oreo slush one. Do you know those? They add like Oreos to it.
That's
M&Ms.
the thing I'm saying. They come to
They come and-
America and then they mix it with their culture, like America. but
Right.
I don't know if it's legit, but if they liked it.
Yeah, I've had the taro tea though. That one is really good. The
Right.
purple drink.
Oh.
Have you had that one?
I drink like a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in Taiwan. But then
Sounds
the
good.
price wise here, it's a little bit expensive.
$5-6 for a medium large. I'm like, oh my gosh, my pockets are hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Yeah, so all of that was very interesting. But moving on to how America is, what do you like about America compared to maybe Japan or Taiwan?
So I think come to America is one of the bigger reason I started learning my English because I started learning English when I first discovered an app called YouTube. That was like when I was 12. I was really young, and then I found a website. They have all kinds of video, and then there was this rap video on YouTube, and I just accidentally clicked it. And the music, you know, is kind of brainwashing, and I started liking hip hop culture. And then,
Wow.
yeah, that's why I started learning English.
That's really cool.
Yes, and also coming to especially New York City is one of my biggest dreams. They have all the rappers, you know, like the history of New York City is really fascinating.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely coming to here is definitely one of the biggest dreams.
That's great. Yeah. With the cultures and everything, what have you seen more in America that you wouldn't see in other places?
Right.
Or haven't seen in other places, should I say? Yeah.
Well, this can be, of course, like the building is different, the road and everything. It's just like a movie, like, because I was born and raised in Taiwan, so everything is a little bit different. But then, what I feel the most is when you're talking to people, like their reaction and then the way they talk. It's a lot different when you're talking to people, for example, from Taiwan and Japan, because like I would say people from Asian country, they are more conservative. Yeah, so there are like certain reaction. You know, when you're talking to other people, they expect you to act this way. Yeah, but coming to America is definitely like a challenge for me because I stay here right now. This is my third semester. So yeah, I really have to adapt the culture and everything here.
Right. Okay. Wow. So that's a lot that you have to compare and everything. Like there's a lot of different information from different countries that you kind of apply when you come to America. I love that. That's really fascinating. So can you tell us a highlight from all of your college journey, since you have a lot to talk about there?
Right. So I would say during my first year and second year in Japan, like I learned how can you overcome the language barrier and be more open-minded to others, because like 90% of our students are exchange students. They're from over the world. So you really have to have that kind of open-minded because they have different religion, the behavior. So you have to really, yeah. And then when I got to America, especially this class, Voto Oswego, I have to engage conversation with random people. Yeah, that's the thing that I learned. And then also promote the political awareness to the campus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to learn from and take away, and you really had to put yourself out there, and I don't think you were doing that before, so I think that's really interesting. What's been your biggest takeaway from Oswego itself?
Biggest takeaway from Oswego? Well, I mean, study here is really an honor for education, academic, and mostly, the interaction between student and professor. It's more like professor for me doesn't feel like, you know, he's on top of me. He's like, yeah, more like a friend you can talk to. Yeah, so whenever you have problem, you have like concern about your homework, you can always talk to them. Yeah, because like back in Japan, thing doesn't really work like that.
Yeah. What is it? How is that actually different?
Right.
If you want to go into that more?
If you want to talk to the professor, that you have to go through the appointment, and then they won't really teach you how to do the things step by step. They kind of just tell you, oh, this is the material you need, and then you need to figure it out. Yeah.
I've heard that from other international students that education in America is a lot different than in other countries, like a little more, I would say, like more helpful to like hands-on, or I've heard maybe more one-on-one confrontations with your professors or with students. So I think that's really interesting that you also added to what I've heard before. It's really cool. Yeah. With being from Taiwan and studying in Japan, do you like America's education better? What's your take on that?
Well, I would say personally, I prefer American teaching style because the class engage and you can have all kinds of like activity.
Right.
Because previous semester, I took Vote Oswego, and I also took another PR class. It's called Event Planning. So we really have to go outside and then try to connect ourselves to the real world. Try to throw a campaign, like tabling, how to sort things. But these are the things that you cannot really experience back in Japan, because like the classroom system, the schedule is kind of different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Noah, it has really been great getting to know you and your journey, and I appreciate you being here so much. But before you go, is there anything you want to say to the viewers watching at home?
Yes, I would like to shout out to my parents, sponsor me 4-year tuition, and a shout out to Haley and ISA, give me this chance to interview me, and shout out to Julie, a wonderful interviewer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Noah. Thank you. Well, thank you again for being a part of this show. It was great talking with you, but we do have more for you. We have another very special guest with us who will be sharing his journey after the short break. Stay tuned for more International Journey.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Welcome back to International Journey. Our second guest joining us today is Umang Patel. Today, we have Umang. Can you please introduce yourself, Umang?
Hi everyone, I'm Umang. I'm from Tanzania. My major is software engineering and I'm a graduating senior.
Awesome. Oh, so you're from Tanzania. What do you love about your country?
So, first of all, before we go there, I was born and brought up in Tanzania. Although my parents were from India, they migrated to Tanzania looking for job opportunities. And talking about Tanzania is, geographically, it's in one of the East African countries next to the Indian Ocean. If you have watched the Lion King movie, you can resemble to that. It's a house of Kilimanjaro mountain and Serengeti. So in the movie where we see the mountain and the flat plains, so that's where we can relate to it. And also the name Simba, it's also like the Swahili word for lions. And Serengeti is also house to 3,000 lions.
Very nice. Oh, so Lion King is, you know that a lot then, because if it was from your country, based in your country, did they talk about that a lot? Is that like the selling point?
Yeah, probably was a selling point for it that it was shot over there. Whenever tourists visit, that's what the tour guides usually try to promote it that way. So that's how even I remember it.
Right, yeah, I understand that. Well, it sounds like a wonderful country. But tell us, what brought you to Oswego?
So I came to Oswego in spring 2019. That's where I was first enrolled in intensive English program. And the first time I came over here, it was super cold. And we haven't experienced that much snow since 2 years I've been here. So I feel like the snow has decreased. But when I moved over here, my family was more concerned about how cold it would be. And they were like worried about my back because I recently recovered from my back injury. And so the first time I was here, they kept asking me every now and then like, oh, how is your back going? And after that, it was more like a video call. Like they will just keep asking me, and like every day at night back home we would have like dinner together. So when I moved over here, it was like I would be on my phone call and they would be back at home eating dinner, and I would be over here eating lunch, and back in India my sister would be eating late night.
Right. What's the time difference between you guys?
The time difference from here to Tanzania would be like 5 hours, 7 hours.
Oh, okay.
And back India would be like something like 9 hours.
Yeah. Well, I know you're very passionate about your major, software engineering. Can you tell me why you decided to pursue software engineering?
So the story goes all the way back when I was young. So I got first introduced to the computers back at my father's workplace. And that's where I still remember how computers look like. With the modern evolution, the computers have like gotten slimmer and thinner. But I still remember how the monitor, how big they used to be and how the CPU used to look like. That's where I like had the curiosity of how computers work. And from there, around mid-school, we had like computer back at home. And I also got like in school, we had like computer classes. So that's where I got more time to explore like how my computers like work and everything. And I immediately figured out that I wasn't more like a hardware kind of a person. I was more interested in the screen, and that's how I was like, oh, I would like to major in software engineering, and that's how I ended up coming here.
Oh, that's very nice. And I like that software engineering kind of was started between you and your dad. I love that. Yeah. That's really nice. Well, I think that we should see a little bit about Umang's story. We'll talk about Umang's story after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to International Journey. Our second guest of the night is Umang, who is an international student from Tanzania. So Umang, you talked about coming to Oswego and how you're really close with your father. How was the transition from Tanzania to Oswego? What was your first year like?
So I started my first official year in fall 2019. It was pretty nice. I used to live in Hart Hall. That's where I made most of my international friends from all around the world. And that's where I started living in Oswego. I still remember my orientation days back where I made my close friends. I had 5 of them. I can name drop them.
Yes, please do.
It was Adi, Mayank, Leo, and Isan. The 5 of us have always stayed together like all these 4 years. There have been some other friends who have joined our group, but they were either seniors, so they graduated. And we have some new ones too, but like the 5 of us are known for fall 2019 group, so they were pretty close. And that's how they're the ones who make me feel home away from home. And I also made some other friends that might be also living in Hart. I still remember my first roommate who used to be from Vietnam. And living in Hart Hall was a really nice experience because every now and then, whenever you walk by in the Hart Hall Lounge, you'd always find someone playing pool or having like a talk back at home, or like some people just hanging out. So that was really nice where I started. And I still remember in my first semester too, I joined Hart Hall Community Council. And that's where I was able to meet more other people and connect with them. And from what I remember from my first year is that I also started working in Cooper. That's where I made most of my other friends, where I'll say like more American friends from there.
Yeah.
So that's how I got more open to the community. The community is welcoming and very nice. And I also had an opportunity to join other clubs on campus. And I'm in my fourth year right now.
Yeah.
I've been a part of so many different clubs. Every semester I tend to join different clubs and make more friends over there. And pretty much that's nice.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, so you have all those friends that you're still keeping in touch with now? I know Eason was on our last episode. So you guys are all in touch and everything? No one's graduating yet. They're graduating.
We're all graduating together. So they're like, that's why I mentioned the five of us have all been together no matter what. But like there are some other friends who like I would meet them at the club or at an event. It's like really hard to like have so many friends and connect with them often because there are like a lot of them.
Yeah, and we're all so busy. We don't all have time to, meet for lunches and stuff. I understand that.
Yep. So this like over the years, like we have all been RA, so it's pretty hard to like even get all of us together. But we also try once in a while to like meet together, have dinner or like party or hang out together.
Yeah.
So mostly it's like either 2 or 3 of us are meeting at Lakeside or Cooper, and like we commute around. So it's pretty good that we like still stay on top of everything and see each other. Although like we're all RAs and still busy, but like it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I know. I applied to be an RA. I hope I get it. But I know that with the Hart Hall community, what role did you have with that?
I was a student advisor at that time too. And
okay.
well, it was mostly my friends had other positions, so I was just helping out with them. And it was more like my first skill set role, so it was good.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from it though.
Yeah, and where did you live then your second year?
In my second year, it was more like a COVID year, so I was off campus. Yep.
Where were you off campus?
I was at my sister's place in New Jersey. And
with online classes, you were taking them?
The classes were online for the whole year, so that year when we were supposed to go back, like the campus just shut off, so I decided to go back to Jersey to my sister's place, and the whole year after that, classes were online, so I was pretty much back in Jersey.
Yeah, can you actually talk a little bit more about your experience as an international student during the COVID times? Like, how was that for you?
It was, at first, I heard about it at December, like how the outbreak happened, but then like we were like, it will pretty much get contained. Like I didn't expect it to be that big the way it was, because it really much damaged everybody's life. As an international student, at first it was most of them were like wondering like where to go, because going back home was also like contagious. Like if you get on a flight, they also had problems with that. So some of my friends flew back home and they had to stay back home for a year. I had an opportunity to go to my sister's place because she was close by to me, so I just went to her place. And it was more like not seeing them, it was more like meeting them online over the phone call. It wasn't like you having in touch with them, like seeing them around. It was a little bit hard, but we all got over it, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's nice that you were able to stay with your sister. I'm sure your parents were happy about that.
Yeah. They were happy about it.
Yeah. We're in New Jersey, though.
She's in Iselin, New Jersey.
Where is that?
Iselin, near Woodbridge.
Oh, okay. Yep. I am close to New Jersey where I live, so I was curious about that.
Where are you from?
I'm from New City, New York, so downstate. It's I guess 45 to an hour from the city. I know people when they hear the city, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know there," but like I'm not there. I'm like up a little bit, but I can't say I'm upstate because people don't like that. It's downstate. But yeah, so I know you talked a lot about your friends. You seem to have a lot of fun with them and everything. So, if you want to share some memories with them?
Oh yeah, sure. So pretty much if we would have a busy week, at the first we weren't that busy, so we would usually go to the lake, have a sunset view. After that, mostly on the weekends, we would be in the library hitting the books, sometimes have a study session or breaks at Lake Effect Cafe. So we would always like also hang out in each other's room. As I said, we would always go to have dinner at one another's dining, the closest dining hall to them. Other than that, we would be like in the rooms or in the playing pool table in the lounge because we all love to play pool table. That's one of the hobbies that we all come close together for. And
It's pool.
Yeah,
I
it's
like pool too.
Yep. We'd have like an hour or 2 hour long sessions just playing pool. So that's how like some of them didn't know how to play, and I was able to teach them. I wasn't
Good.
super good at it, but like I found my way to be better. So I tried to teach some of them, and now we're all really good. So it's a really good competition whenever we
That's
play.
fun. Yeah, when everybody knows how to play, you can have a good game going and just enjoy that. Do you like some board games with them or anything like that?
Yeah, we play board games. We hang out pretty much late at night in each other's room. Not just that, we also like each other's company, so we're just hanging out, just having some chit chats. If not that, we would be like partying somewhere in someone's room, going out on bar crawl.
Yeah, the town has a lot of different things to do, so I'm sure you find something there. The parks too that you can go to. Have you ever been to Brightbeck Park?
Yeah, we have been there.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. So Umang has a video for us, and he's very excited to share. Let's take a look at Umang's memories in Oswego. I loved that video. I saw a couple of different places that I recognized because I was there too.
Yep.
You know, Riggs is actually where I know you from. You're an RA in Riggs, and I live there as well, so it is very nice that we know each other from there. But anyways, can you tell us a little bit about being an RA?
So I got an opportunity to become an RA right after we came back from COVID. I had given my interviews earlier, and I had gotten appointed in Riggs, so that was really nice. Being an RA over here was like pretty challenging for me at first because I just got thrown into a leadership position, which was nice for my own personal growth. I was able to have a growing community over there. I used to work with my RAs, which showed my team leadership skills. I had a great supervisor. They used to give me a super nice feedback of what I need to change, of what I need to set my growth in. Every year, like we would have like we had different supervisors, so I learned everything different from them. That was pretty nice with all of them. And after about a year ago from today, I joined admissions. It was taking a step out of my comfort zone. I started becoming a tour guide, and that's where I tried to make my communication skills go smooth in. And I got promoted later up after a semester, and now I'm on my phone call duties. And I'm still working in admissions, which is pretty nice. And I've not just worked as RA or just in admissions. I've also worked in dining halls. I've worked in Cooper and Lakeside. All of these departments have different like growth skills which you can grow in. They're all very nice for your interpersonal skills.
I love that. That was so well said. And you know, I really think that you taking yourself out your comfort zone is the biggest thing. And I saw that with Noah when he was talking. So I love that you're doing that here. I feel like that's what college is really for. College experience is to grow and learn for yourself, right?
Yep.
So thank you for sharing that. We heard a lot about your outside activities, but what's something that's going on in your major? Like, what projects are you doing with software engineering?
So I'll talk about my major because I feel like I didn't talk about it at
Yeah.
all. So starting from my first year till now, my course is pretty much structured really nice, and at the beginning, I didn't have that many programming skills, but now I can confidently say that I'm fluent in a lot of languages and learned a lot of languages throughout my time over here. And some of the projects I've worked on, I'll start with one which is pretty interesting. It was last semester. I had a course which was known as software design, and we were making a software, and our clients were from IBM, and they were the ones who were like mediating how the project is working and like keeping check on us every week. It was more about like a Discord, pretty much if you have heard about Discord app. So it's like we would like, if someone likes a message, there would be a robot over there on the chat which would pick that chat and put it up on a website, and that website would just be authorized to specific people. So let's say I like a post, and then you can go up there because you'll have the pass to it, and then you'll be able to see the messages. So that's because sometimes, you know, a lot of people spam the Discord channel, and you really want to see some important messages. So that's how like you can go on the website and see over there. Or in case if you are like want to use Discord for work purposes, and let's say you're on a vacation and there were like some pretty good news that you want to know or hear about some messages, you could just go into the website after you come back to your work and just go up there and see all the messages. And each emoji would have a specific filter to it, so you'd be able to like see what message you missed, if there would be something important or something about a specific project.
That's really cool.
Yep. I also have more if you want to hear about that.
Yes, I want to hear all these projects. Keep going.
There was also one more project which I worked on, which was robot radar. I worked on it for a whole year. For one semester, it was just like making of it. For the next semester, it was just testing it. It was like a small go-by-go car which would walk around. So there is a car which they sell, but like it's just a robot. It doesn't know anything, so it's basically a dumb robot. But we make it smarter, so we program it that way it can sense the surrounding of it, and it would be able to show the user of what's around. That way it doesn't bump into something or doesn't fall off the ground if it's on a higher ground. So we made that project, and it was a team. Both of this project which I talked about were team projects, and I was one of the members in them, so I wouldn't take full credit for it.
Yeah, of course.
And the next semester, we were like in a pair, and I was able to taste the project. The project had like a little bit of bugs. Of course, we're still learning, so it wasn't super nice or successful. But we were able to clear up the bugs and make it look more sufficient.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah. And this semester, I have 2 projects which I'm working on. One of them is with related my web services, which is Weathercast. It's more like projecting or showing other information on internet up there. And the other project which I'm working on is Price Vision, is one of my capstone. I'm not going to talk more about it. If you want to know more about that, you have to come to Quest. I'll be presenting over there.
Can you give us a little preview before Quest, though? Because I know the viewers at home want to hear about your project.
All right, the only preview I can give is like we'll be predicting stock prices.
Stock prices?
Yes.
Oh, that must have a lot of people on their toes. They're probably very interested in that. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. We're going to hear Umang's final words before we go, but we'll be back after the break.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the Earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to International Journey. Before we're done with today's show, I just wanted to ask Umang if there's anything else you would like to say before we end.
I would just like to thank you for having me here, thank the whole crew, and thank Chloe for producing it, ISA. And I would like to thank my friends and family for supporting and having me in Ushuayu.
Yes, any friends and family back home that you want to say hello to?
Oh yeah, hi, they'll probably be watching the show.
Yes.
So hi everyone back home.
Oh, love that. Well, thank you, Umang. Thank you, Noah. It was wonderful getting to know you guys and your stories tonight. Thanks to all our viewers at home for watching our show. Be sure to follow our Instagram at isa.internationaljourney. For those on campus, there will be a formal hosted by International Student Association on April 22nd. And the next day is another episode of this great show. I hope to see you there. Till next time, have a great night, everyone.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTLP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTLP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTLP.